difference is now these individuals are saying, well, before we even get to that point, I'm going to unite with my like-minded individuals and say, word, if you guys are trying to hit us with this mandate, then we're going to leave right now, right? Because guess what? You guys need us more than we need you, and that's a fact, right? So that's one of the things that I'm happy to see in terms of that kind of a unity specific to protesting, right? We need to do it. We need to do more of it.
What's up, guys? King Drew here with my man.
Life first in the building.
Well, I want to thank you. Welcome you guys to King Talk Live, where we talk about personal development, spiritual growth, and current events. Well, how you feel about all these protests that are going on around the world? That I don't really pay attention to the news, but I feel like I only see it in set locations. I don't really see it on Facebook. I'm not really on there because they kicked me off. Instagram, but I see it a lot on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to these protests that are going on around the world, you would think there would be headlines. So I don't know how you feel about that, brother.
Yeah, I mean, personally, when you think about the perception of the protest, right, I think it goes hand to hand to the messaging as far as what they're trying to promote as opposed to what's really happening, right? Because the logic is we need to get out ahead of it. So ultimately, I think when you pay attention to what that messaging is, then it's easy for you to then understand what the narrative is in terms of what they're trying to push, right? And I simply say to people, right now, if you feel specific to that narrative, meaning what? Go get the vaccine. The counter argument doesn't support what we're telling you because there is no significance, there's no research, there's no credentials that supporting the counter complete in that sense, right? So I would say, do your own process, and if you feel as once you through the process that is something that you want to get, again, I salute my hat to you. But what I'm saying is the fact that somebody's telling you that you have to, right, in that sense is what we don't stand for. But as far as the protest, I think the perception of it is they're trying to make it seem like when individuals is standing up for themselves, meaning they're coming together in unity, and they're standing up against, they're trying to make it seem like, well, these are the employers pretty much hitting them with the ultimatum, which in sense they are. But the only difference is now these individuals are saying, well, before we even get to that point, I'm going to unite with my like-minded individuals and say, word, if you guys are trying to hit us with this mandate, then we're going to leave right now, right? Because guess what? You guys need us more than we need you, and that's a fact, right? So that's one of the things that I'm happy to see in terms of that kind of a unity specific to protesting, right? We need to do it. We need to do more of it, right? Because why? Had I maybe had more people with me while I was going through what I went through with lunch crafters, right? I probably would have still been employed, right? Had I had more people who was with me in that sense. But yeah, it's interesting how they're trying to make it seem in terms of protesting, but you just gotta, pay attention to it.
Yeah, and I feel like it's not really shown anywhere though. That's the thing. And if you have seen it on the news, comment the link down below so I can see it for myself because I haven't seen it. And I really look at it as, when it comes to the protest, it intrigues me how much people they are that are really against this thing. Because when you hear it, you think it's just you. You know what I mean? You're by yourself. Everybody else around you already got the jab or whatever the case may be, and everybody else around you telling you to get it. And it's like, if you look at the research, look at the research, look at the numbers, right? And you see that, hey, at the end of the day, can you get it? Can you give it? Those are the key components that I would focus on. It's like, hey, you're pushing it where it's like, you have to take this, right? You have to take this. But on the counter side, you can still get COVID. You can still transmit it to other people. So I thought the whole point of it was to protect you. right? And then on the back end, someone be like, "Boy, well, you won't get hospitalized." Well, at the end of the day, who's to say that? Who's to say that though? You heard that from somebody, but at the same time, it's like you don't really see none of the negative side effects of it, right? They don't show none of that. And if you even put up anything that's talking against that, like the video I posted, they remove your stuff. They literally remove my Instagram page, my Facebook page, because I posted a video and the video was talking about how, the media is in cohorts with each other and all these social media sites are all agreed on it. And anything that has to do with the vaccines, they're gonna hush that. So, it makes sense. When I heard it, I was like, oh well, obviously it makes so much sense. So for me, at the end of the day, it's like when I see these protests, I love the fact that people are uniting together for what they believe. And the one word that I said that I wasn't seeing a lot of is discrimination. I don't hear that conversation enough when it comes to this vaccine passport, right? I don't really hear too much of the word discrimination because at the end of the day, you're telling me that I can't work at a place because of my health status. Am I hearing that right? Am I hearing that right, Life First? Is that
Right. I
one?
mean, yeah, it's funny you say that, right? Specific to discrimination, and then even how that correlates to your employer, right? Or lack of in terms of employment specific to your health status, right? Because why? It's ironic that we now singly handpicked this particular thing to highlight in it as being the all when it comes to combating towards health in that sense, right? But what about all the other known health complications that's been, right? So it seems childish, right, to say the least, in that sense. But ultimately, it's like, come on, man, like stop it, right? Stop it, So, and again, you have individuals who, in their silence, make it to where these individuals feel like, oh yeah, see, we got a group of people over here who is for these types of behaviors, right? And what I'm saying is that now, if you know for a fact you're not, right? I'm not saying that you're obligated to doing anything, but you need to understand how this narrative is making it to where you're being complicit into what they're suggesting. That's all I'm saying. Because why? If you know you're not on that time of day, then you got to say, yo, I don't stand for that. I made this decision because I thought, based upon my ability of getting to that conclusion, right? Now, had you said to me, this, think about it, right? What if they told you you couldn't get it? What if you came to the conclusion you wanted and then they're like, oh, no, can't get it? How would you then feel? So how is that hard then to understand what somebody else is saying counter to somebody saying, after going through the old process, I'm saying I don't want to get it. Cool, simple, right? So we just need to stop it, right? And these individuals need to stop being utilized as pawns in pushing this narrative one way or the other, right? Because it's dangerous, man, and it's very destructive, and we can see already individuals who's been compromised in it. So
Yeah, and it's building separation.